this is the phase you guys are going to be at once everything is traced, okay? Make sure before you remove your paper that you have all essential things traced, such as the shape or major edges, anything that is going to be necessary for you to paint this, okay? So you can see, like, you know, the cup is a pretty specific shape. I need to make sure I have that traced. You know, the outline of the horse, the edge of the horse head. I even, and I suggest this for some of you, traced the edge of what's going to be my highlight. You guys see that? Okay, so for example, this little line here is actually the highlight that's showing up here on his chest. That's just good for you guys as you're painting, because it's going to help you to be like, oh yeah, that's right, that is where it's lighter than the rest of the image, okay? So once you have everything essentially traced, what you need to do is look at your color photo and identify what base colors you see there, okay? So for example, I can see I'm going to definitely need brown, I'm going to be needing blue, I'm going to be needing red, green, definitely going to be needing white, black, and then a variety of grays, okay? Maybe a variety of browns, okay? When you guys paint these, you're each going to be getting your own set of acrylic paints. I bought these on purpose to make our prep time faster, okay? So that way you don't have to wait in the line. You'll just store these in your cubbies, you bring them to your spot, you refill as you need, you don't have to get up and move around as much, okay? When you're using these, okay, a key thing, and we're going to go over it each day. Today I'm just going to show the background. Anything that is light, for example, my light brown here, or my light brown on the table, you're always going to add white. Anything that is dark, like my dark brown here, or maybe my dark brown, or maybe just black here, you're going to add black to it, okay? So anything that's white or light, add white. Anything that's dark, add black, okay? It's whatever your base color is. For today, we always want to work from the background to the front, okay? Just like we have done with our landscapes. So, for me, I'm going to start all the way at the very background part, and I'm just going to define anything that is not on the table. I'm going to have to go around some of these shapes and get just that straight background. If I turn it, you can see that even though it's mostly black, I do have a little bit of a lighter color here on the left because my light was coming from the left side. Okay? So, get out the colors that you need. And I'm going to be using all three of these in order to darken my brown as I need to. When you're doing the background, you need like a round tip fine brush to trace the edges so that you keep things clean. You're going to need a larger flat brush to kind of paint in that whole space so that the color is solid, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do here is just mix up something that would be in between black and brown, kind of darken the brown a little bit. And remember that you're going to have to do a lot of layers, okay? So for this part, what I'm really doing is just defining my background, and that's why I want this smaller brush so I can get right up along the edges of my subject and try and keep those edges clean as I'm doing this. If you get a little bit of your background color overlapping into that, it's not a big deal, okay, because you're always going to paint again over top of that. So once I have defined the edge and traced along there, I'm ready to go in and just kind of fill things in. Right here I'm checking because this is where my table is. So you need to make sure you have your reference photo there, because for a second I couldn't quite tell where my table was at. So have your reference out to help you with that. Okay? So going along the leaf shapes here, and I will go in later and fill this in, just defining the background space. Again, and that's my table surface, and then the rest of that is my background. Okay, so I've outlined everything that is going to be in my distant background. Now I can take the larger brush. I'm going to pick up just that base color, which is kind of a dark brown, and just define the rest of the background. And now that I've traced along my subject area, I don't have to be as careful, and I can fill in the space much more efficiently. That's my background. You don't have to worry about adding highlights and stuff just yet. Just like we were saying, find your base color first and start with that. I will later go in and like paint the highlight on the left side that you saw there a second ago. So make sure you have a variety of brushes. Okay, almost done with that already. It goes pretty fast. I'm gonna go in and just smooth out some of those brush strokes. Right here is where we have that little leaf shape. Okay, and then right here is my last big negative shape that defines my background from the subject. Okay, so now I have anything that's in my foreground or closer to me still isolated, and anything that's in the background or farther painted. Okay, so now you can go ahead and start thinking about where is it lighter and where is it darker. So I'm going to try and get those little lighter brown stuffs that are in the background there. Just because there's some highlights from the lamp that we had hanging up there. Okay. And that's also going to help convince everybody that my light is coming from the right side. Okay? Any questions, guys? Okay, thank you.